Hello, boys of class 5. Welcome you to the online class of BGST. I'm Chitra sir. Today I will conduct a class on chapter 8, Gender Equality, and we'll have some C.B.Q from this chapter. So let's start today's session. Here is the C.B.Q. Where Begum Ruqayya took birth. Why did she call the pioneer of women's rights? Right, 4 works in the development of women's rights were done by Begum Ruqayya. Now let's start the answer. As I have told, first we will give one introductory line, that is, Begum Ruqayya was the person who tried and successfully to establish the rights and equality of women in the society. Actually, he was the person, she was the person who successfully establish women's rights and fight for women's right to establish in the society. That is why he is remembered in the South Asian or in the subcontinent. She was the first woman who do this type of step. Now, Begum Ruqayya was born in Rangpur, a village named Pairaband. Already we know about these things. He was born in Rangpur district, and the name of the upazila is Mithapuku, and the name of the village is Pairaband. It belongs to Bangladesh earlier, and also, but on that time they were belongs to Bangladesh. Then she shifted to Kolkata from Rangpur. For her outstanding work on establishing women's right in society, she was called pioneer of women's right. The reason why she was called pioneer of women's rights, for her outstanding work to establish women's right. Now let us see the 4 work that is done by Begum Ruqayya for development of women's right. Number 1, she established a girls' school at Bhagalpur in 1909 so that girls can take education and being educated. Number 2, she went to house to increase the number of girl students. That means she tried and inspired the guardians or parents to let their girls go to school and be educated, and that was the first step development for women's right. That's why she inspired the guardians to let their girls to get education, because without education nobody can improve their condition. Third number work, she inspired women to set them in workplace by removing religious and social conservativeness. So there were so many conservative concepts that women can do work outside from home, but she inspired by doing works that other women can also follow and do work outside. Number 4, she inspired women to write story and books by writing many story and books. She used to write poems, story, and many things. She used to write in magazines also. So by seeing that other women can also write, that was her initiative. That is why she was called pioneer of women's right. Begum Ruqayya dedicates her full life to establish women's right, and thus she is remembered on every year in 9th December by celebrating Ruqayya Day. We're celebrating Rukia Day on every 9th December to remember his works she has done for establish women's right. So that was the answer of C.B.Q. Now let's see another C.B.Q from this topic. And this C.B.Q is, which date is declared by UN for International Women's Day? Why International Women's Day is celebrated? Write 4 impacts of International Women's Day. Now let's start the answer. By sacrificing many lives and after many movements, International Women's Day had achieved. Each year, 8 March is celebrated as International Women's Day, and this day has been declared by UN because earlier there was so many contradictory dates. Some were celebrating on the last Sunday of February, some were celebrating first Sunday of March. So removing that problems, UN declared 8 March as International Women's Day. Now, to increase the consciousness of women's right and many more things, International Women's Day is celebrated. That means to make awareness amongst the people that women's rights should not be neglected, International Women's Day is celebrated in the world. That was the main concept, to celebrate Women's Day. Now let us see 4 impacts of International Women's Day. Number 1, to increase the consciousness of many things along with confirmation of women's right. So not only women's right is the main concept, there is other something that should raise awareness. International Women's Day are celebrating. Number 2, contribution of women in different sectors of society is highlighted. The person doing some good thing or great thing should be remembered, and if that is done by any woman, that also should be highlighted. That is the main objective in International Women's Day. Inequality between men and women decrease by the consciousness of this day. That means if people have awareness about and they decrease the difference between men and women, then this should be very good achievement. Authority of man to woman decreases in the societies. That is another thing for why Women's Day is celebrated. That we have seen in the society that men are dominating women, so that should be less. That's why Women's Day are celebrated globally. International Women's Day is celebrated to establish equality between man and woman. So that is complete the C.B.Q of 2. Here is another C.B.Q from this chapter, that is, what is violence against women, why women are tortured. Write 4 ways to protest torture against women. Answer: women are tortured in many ways in our country, and as a result there are some bad impacts of it on society. Yes, we have, if you open any newspaper, then you can find many occurrences against women happening in the country. Some acid attack, some dowry, torture for dowry, and some other religious offenses happens in the country. Now let us know what is violence against women. To decrease the human rights of women and torture them physically and mentally is known as violence against women. So not only decrease or not to establish women's right, but also torture them physically and mentally is known as violence against women. Generally, for wanting of dowry, women are tortured in our country. Most of the case, this is the main reason for torturing, but some other reasons are also seen in the country. But as it is seen most of the case, that's why we can say that dowry for dowry, women are tortured in our country. That means if the wanted dowry is not given to the bridegroom family, then they torture the women. For ways to protest torture against women are: number one, if anyone is torturing, then resist him. That means the person who torture women, we should stand against him. Number two, make realize the society that women are half part of the society. That means if there is male and female, that means they are the half portion of the society, and to make development, we also have to walk along with these half portions. Not only male can develop the society. Create the concept that if success is needed in any work, then success of women on that work is necessary. That means only achievement of or successful success of male on any work should not be the development of the country or any other thing. It should be women also, that they are having success on that work. Inspire the parents to send their daughters to school for being educated. That means, as in our country, sometimes parents are not allowed their girls or daughter to get education, but I think they have to inspired by others and send their daughters to school for get education. Violence against women should stop on every sphere of society. Only then development of society can possible. So if we want the development of society, we have to stop violence against women. So boys, today we discussed 3 C.B.Q from this chapter. Later on we will do some fill in the blanks and matching and short question answer from this chapter 8. Till then, stay fine and study properly at home. Hope you will be do your regular studies. So bye for today, boys.